Nessa Sunshine here, and today I'm getting into the ABH Soft Glam Palette 2. So I'm going to do this cut crease holiday look with this deep lip, and I do talk about the lip at the end. Yes, if you want to see how to get this look, well, subscribe to my channel. Let's get into the tutorial. The first shade I'm going to be getting into is Incense, and I will be using the NABLA Gem Brush in the number N302. It's the Amethyst collection. I have the NARS Soft Matte Concealer on my eyes, and I'm going to take the tip of this brush in the outer corner of the crease, and now I'm going to bring it into the center, and I'm using mostly the side and tip of the brush, and I'm going to continue to bring it further in. And then I'm going to go back out. Now I'm moving in swiper motions to blend Incense all over the eyelid. On the brow bone, I'm going to lightly, with a lighter pressure, move up on my brow bone. Then what I'm going to do is do the same thing to the other side, and then we're going to get into Noir. Next, I'll be getting into the shade Noir with the Amethyst NABLA brush in the number N203. So I'm going to tap the very tip and edge of this brush like several times. I'm going to use very short swiper motions with the tip of this brush to start to get Noir all over the crease. And it's okay if it comes down. And I'm going to start to bring it in the center with the tip of this brush, and then bring it a little bit further, not all the way in, so a fourth of the way. I'm going to keep this clear from Noir, but 3/4 of the way I'm going to have Noir placed on the lid, and I'm also going to bring it out further over here. But before I go on to the outside, since I have my powder and everything set, I don't want to get wild. I want to be careful. And now I've started to move in a little bit, and then I'm going back into the middle, and then I'm going to move out with whatever was left. I'm going to move out, 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 and I'm going to start to flick up just a little bit to get the shade up here. I'm going to go back in with the blending brush I used at first, which is the N302. I haven't added anything on this. I'm just taking the tip of this very big fluffy brush, and I'm moving in swiper motions all over, and mostly light pressure on the outer side. I'm going to press lighter, and then I'm going to use a little bit more pressure in the center, all with the tip of this blending brush. Going back in with my other brush, and Noir, I'm going to take it directly in, tap it several times, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to go right, not on the outer edge, but right in the inner outer edge of the crease. And I'm going to use some circular motion, so I'm going to build up Noir, and I'm going to go into the center in circular motion, and then I'm going to go in opposite circular motion, and then move to the outer edge. And I'm going to use lighter pressure as I go on the outer edge. And I'm going to look up close into my mirror. I'm going to tap more of Noir onto the brush, tap off the excess, and I'm going to keep building. Same thing. And I'm going to move in toward the center a little, in the crease, slightly above the crease. And I'm going to start to use the tip and edge of my blending brush, this really tiny, nice little brush. And I'm going to gently sweep Noir out. And then I'm going to go back into my big fluffy brush, roll it once in Incense, tap off the excess. The center of my crease, I'm going to blend forward in swiping motion. And I'm going to roll my brush around, since I rolled the shade in the brush, or I rolled the brush in the shade. And I'm going to blend forward to just blend a little bit more, and then I'll blend a little bit with the tip of this brush above on the brow bone, just very, very lightly and lighter as I get to the outer edge. I think I'm going to blend it a little bit. I'm just going to lightly blend right in the center. I'm taking the other brush now that I used before for Noir, and I'm looking forward, and I'm moving out a little bit. And then I'm going to take my other blending brush. So I'm going back and forth, back and forth. I didn't take anything on this blending brush, just whatever was left, and then I'm just going to blend in swiper motions going up into my brow, very, very, very lightly, like a feather. A little bit more pressure than a feather. Okay, and then now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, and then we're going to get into cutting the crease. Now I'll be taking my Soft Matte Complete Concealer from NARS in the shade Light 2.75, and I'll also be using the NABLA Amethyst brush in the number N101. I'm going to bring this above the crease as my eyes are relaxed and I'm looking straight forward. I'm bringing this above the crease in the center first, and then I'm going to start to bring it inward toward the inner corner of my eye. After I've gone down here, I'm coming back into the center, and then I'm going to bring it over the crease as well on the other side. So I've just taken a little tiny bit. I'm going to take a little bit more. And then from the outer edge, I'm going to bring the concealer and sort of match it with the center. From the outer edge, I'm taking more concealer and matching up with the center. I'm going to flatten out my brush so I can get it more exact. And I'm going to lift my brow just a little bit so that I can get this very mid part and connect it nicely. And then I'm going to flick this up just a little, and then I'm adding a lot more concealer to this outer edge just to lighten up the shadow. And I'm just going to go ahead and redefine the crease that I've cut. This time I'm looking down instead of looking straight forward. And I'm bringing the mirror closer to me so I can see everything. So I'm going to now do the same thing to the other side. So it's not exactly shimmer time because the next shade is more of a satin, and it is a tempera, and I'll be using the NABLA N202 brush. I'm swiping tempera right onto the center of the lid. I'm going to bring it inward, and I'm going to bring it out, taking more, and I'm going to bring it over. I've wiped off the concealer as best I can on the N101 brush, which I used to conceal. I'm going to take a little bit of tempera, tap off the excess, and I'm going to use this just for this outer edge. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to get into liner and also the lower lash line before I pop on some lashes and have a makeup miracle moment. For liner in the tight line, I'm going to apply the Creme Gel Liner from Colourpop in the shade Swerve. For wing liner, I'll be using the Kyliner in the shade Black. I did say I was going to use this in the tight line, but I'm also going to use this in the outer corner of the lash line as well. With the felt tip, I'm going to take the very tiniest tip of it from the center, and then I'm going to bring it out into a thicker line, fill it in, create a wing, and connect it. And then I'm going to flatten out this edge here. And I'm going to bring this out. And I brought it out and up. I didn't connect it. You can if you want to. I'm going back in with a liner and making sure everything is as seamless as it can be. I'm going to get into the Colourpop Creme Gel Liner in Teaspoon. I'm going to take this to the outer corner of the lower lash line, and I'm going to bring it in toward the center a little bit so we're getting a pop of color. And I'll be taking the NABLA 204 brush. I've mixed more in Incense and tapped out the excess, and now I'm going to blend. I'm going to take Dirty Talk Cream Gel Liner in this inner part to brighten up and bring it in. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side for the lower lash line, adding teaspoon, adding Noir and Incense mix on my like flat sort of brush. Now it's time to pop on some lashes. I'll be using the Maybelline Sky High Mascara and the Lilly Lashes Miami Flare. So in a makeup miracle moment. For lips today, I'm going to be using the Jogia lip liner in Exquisite and the Kylie Cosmetics KOKO liquid lipstick in the shade Gorge. So this color is definitely the color that I wanted with this eye look, but I don't know, it didn't dry exactly right, so it is what it is. And that completes this look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial using the ABH Soft Glam 2 again. I really like this palette. I know I asked about the BH Naughty palette and then the Huda Naughty Nude palette last time, but I really wanted to get back into this little palette. It's so cute. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like this tutorial and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you next time. Bye! Bye now.